Welcome ladies and gentlemen, my name is dr.J and this is the 6th episode of my series How to Complete Hollow Knight. Last time we explored the Soul Sanctum located in the City of Tears, and apart from witnessing the desperate actions of the bugs trying to find a way to stop the plague, we've also collected another new spell that will help us further explore the Hallownest kingdom. The next area we'll visit is the Crystal Peak. As we won't be seeing Salubra for a while, I would like to talk a bit about her. As you can see, she is strangely calm while living in the ruins of Hallownest. Throughout your conversations, she does not seem to acknowledge the reality of what this kingdom has become. Considering the vast amount of charms and charm notches she possesses, as well as the rewards she gives you when you finally obtain all the available charms, it kind of seems like she isn't the ordinary merchant she initially appears to be. That being said, at no point in the game is there an explicit or even implicit explanation about her. So while I have my theories, I would love to hear what you guys think about her in the comments. Hey Maiwa, not looking so hot there. Again, note her eyes. There's some kind of glow in them, similar to the ones a lot of the hostile bugs have. Almost like there's some kind of light leaking from inside them. It's time to head towards the Crystal Peak. You can go here to the left in order to open a shortcut to the Forgotten Crossroads for the measly sum of 50 geo. Now let's go find a bench and rest for a bit. The Glintback can only be attacked from the front. They don't actively attack you, but you have to be careful not to get cornered against the wall. Whoops, seems like I really need to rest. The Husk Miner uses his pick to attack by either slashing if you're near or throwing it if there's some distance between you. And here is the bench at last. Now let's go find that next grub. Start by climbing upwards in the previous room. While we are climbing, I want to tell you about this area. Crystal Peak used to be mined during the glory days of the Kingdom of Hallownest for its crystals which supplied the cities with power. Those crystals contained a different kind of energy from the soul energy the city dwellers could utilize. While still powerful, it was considered to be far less lethal. The crystals glow in the darkness and contain a bright point of searing heat inside of them. Also, more ominously, a soft singing sound could be heard from the inside of them. While there is no direct explanation on the source of the crystal's power, there are many hints about it, and I think by the end of the game it will become very obvious. Now let's go back to saving those grubs. We need to go through this conveyor challenge in order to get to the grub. And that's 12 grubs freed. Next up is Cornifer, so let's continue our ascent. The only way to kill the crystal crawlers is by using spells. I don't bother with killing them, but it is a totally viable way since their beam attacks is quite annoying. And here's Cornifer. Buy his map and go back to the previous room and keep going up. Next is the Crystal Guardian fight. Overall a very simple fight. He only has 2 attacks besides his jumping around. He either shoots a laser beam directly at your location, which is very easily dodgeable, or he summons several laser beams around the arena, which also shouldn't be able to hit you. You can and should use the bench he was sitting on after dealing with him. Now let's go back to the previous room and continue up for a bit. The bugs on the wall are called shard mites. Their only attack is the sprouting of crystal spikes from their shell. Nothing you should be particularly concerned about. This key is actually to the seller in Slice's shop. We should return it to him once we are back in town. And we are still going up. Here's Squirrel again. Chat with him and continue right. Get the Wanderer's Journal and continue further down. Before we get our next ability, it's time for another platforming challenge. You can pogo jump off of the platforms once they flip, in case you have to wait for the beams to dissipate. The inspiration for the next ability is obviously the Shine Spark from Metroid. Though in gameplay terms it differs quite a lot from it. For example, you won't be losing health when using it, but it's also much less versatile. It's also a nice touch that you collect the ability from a mining golem. And now we have the super dash ability, which opens up even more areas and can in certain places serve as a way to quickly move around. The super dash can be cancelled at any time. You are not invulnerable while using it though. Now let's go find ourselves some more grubs. Grub number 13. Denied. The crystal hunters shoot a crystal that when hits the ground blooms in a crystalline structure. It can be destroyed after this happens and you can deflect the initial crystal during flight, but it can become like a minefield, especially if there are several crystal hunters in the area. Okay, it's time to brave the Crusher challenge so we can save that poor grub. Actually, why are they in those jars in the first place? And group number 14 is liberated as well. Next we'll go left in order to get another charm. This challenge is mainly based around timing your super dash so you don't hit the beams. Ouch. Let's try that again. There you go. Now for that charm. Defocus increases the time it takes to heal, but it doubles the effectiveness of the heal. If you combine it with quick focus, it makes it almost the same speed as a normal heal, though you'll barely be able to afford any more charms with this combo. A viable combo is using the Stalwart Shell so you can use the increased iframes to squeeze a heal this way. It also increases the Spore Cloud radius of the Spore Shroom charm, which also compensates for the slower heals in certain conditions. And now it's time for, you guessed it, another grub. Go to the exit all the way to the left. Again, we are using the super dash. One of the very convenient uses of the super dash is that you can stick to a wall. Currently we won't have much use for it, but in the later parts of the game, especially in some platforming challenges, it's incredibly useful. Not necessarily a requirement to complete them, but it will make them significantly easier. Oh, that was close. And this is the first mimic we need. Thankfully they are not nearly as difficult as the Dark Souls ones. There's a fake wall on the right where the real grub is. Grub number 15. Now let's go back a bit and open the shortcuts to Dirtmouth. And now we are back to grub rescuing. We will be able to explore a very significant portion of the Crystal Peak area, but because we lack the double jump ability, we still need to come back here later. Thankfully, on our second visit, we will be able to collect everything we've missed this time around. And while there are not that many places left to explore here, coming back with a double jump will get us some very important upgrades. We've got another Crusher challenge blocking our way. After group number 16, we are done with Crystal Peak for now, and we are off to the next area. After this little pointless detour, we just need to go right until we reach a big drop and fall down to the resting grounds. As I've said a while back, you could conceivably navigate Crystal Peak without a Lumafly lantern. The only thing you need it for are the places where you have to activate something, and there's nothing that blocks your progress on this visit. However, if you're skilled and experienced enough to be able to navigate these dark places without a lantern, why are you even watching this guide? Just kidding. I know it's because of my charming personality. This is our official introduction to the Dreamers. I wonder what that captive light could refer to. And what is the vessel? And why do they call us a shadow? So the dreamers have sent us to the dream world, and we must find a way out. Obviously, falling down is not the way out. The game is full of subtle hints that help you piece the story of the past of Hallownest. For example, try to remember this mod made out of light that guides you out of this place. It will make sense why this is important near the end of the game. Figuring this out is, in my opinion, much more satisfying than flat out telling you what's what. With the dream now in hand, we can now activate those trees, as well as access certain dreams in order to gain essence. It was the seer that has saved us from the dreamers. So let's do what the seer told us and gather some essence. Let's start with this tree. Usually the way the essence orbs are scattered, they create a path, so if you follow them, they will lead you to all the orbs. Also, from now on, occasionally some enemies you defeat will drop essence as well. After you collect all the orbs, there's always an audio cue to inform you of that. Now let's go get ourselves another charm. The dream shoot will block most projectiles and it can also damage enemies if it hits them. If you use it in conjunction with the dream wielder charm, its size is increased and it regenerates quicker. After collecting it, we are done with the resting grounds for now, and it's time to activate this area's stack station. Next stop, city storerooms. Hey guys! After escaping the prison the dreamer sent us to and meeting the seer, we'll be going back to the City of Tears in order to open another new area. This area was actually accessible since we've entered the City of Tears for the first time, but in order to obtain the next movement ability from it, we need the super dash ability we collected today. As always, if you've enjoyed it, please press the like button, and if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear from you. This will really help me to provide better content for you guys. Hope to see you again next time, and until then, have a good one.